This is a fantastic collection of British films which look at the Chinese community in the UK right from the beginnings of cinema through to the present day. The collection's in two distinct parts. The first part is a collection of films that runs throughout the silent era and into the 1930s, and these are films mainly made by white filmmakers and telling stories about the Chinese community from a very kind of colonial perspective. The Chinese community is often presented in kind of unflattering terms in these early films, with Chinese characters often played by white actors in makeup. One exception is Anna May Wong, who starred in a range of films from this period, including most famously Piccadilly, and went on to enjoy brief fame in Hollywood. The second collection dates from about the 1980s and comes through to the present day, and it's films made by British Chinese people and Chinese people coming over to the UK, and what they do is give a more authentic perspective of Chinese living in the UK.
I think this collection is quite important because the Chinese voice in the UK is always kind of politicized in a journalistic way and often very dry and abstract. But then if you deliver a collection of the cinema, then it's very important because the story is always much more universal and emotional than a journalistic account of China and economic growth. So I think this collection is quite useful to understand, once very remote culture China, but now it's totally integrated into this Western culture.
Chinese filmmakers could bring sort of that diversity and that sort of silent voice to British cinema that's not been heard before. Honestly, there's a whole sort of section of society that's contributing to society and is not being heard. But, there's nothing that I can think of, having seen recently, that I can relate to that much and think that's me, that's my life, that's my experience. It would just be great to be seen and heard.
Saw me standing alone without a dream.